Hello everyone, I am Dr. Bhavna Joshi and I am taking the subject childhood and growing up. And in this series of the lectures, today we will be studying about the topic stages of development, which is in your subject childhood and growing up in B.Ed first semester with code B.Ed 101. So particularly in this lecture, we will be studying about the specific stage that is the infancy. A child who is an infant, we will study about it. So let's start. So what we will be studying in this lecture is a journal overview of different types of stages, then what are the various types of development, and then particularly in this lecture we will be focusing on the infancy and with respect to physical development, intellectual development, emotional development, social development, language development, and the educational implication of the infancy stage. Now let's start. So before starting with the specific stage, one should know what are the different stages of development. The different stages are: first is infancy, second is childhood. Then again this childhood we will divide it into early childhood and the later childhood. Then it is adolescent, then it is adulthood, and then it is old age. In your syllabus, we will be focusing upon the first three stages, that is infancy, childhood, and adolescence. So now, what type of development we will be concentrating upon? We will be concentrating upon the physical development of the child, the language development of the child, the emotional development of the child, social development of the child, and the intellectual development of the child. As we all know, when we talk about the physical development means here we will be talking about the development of internal and external organs of the child with respect to that specific stage. Then when it comes to language development is as we all know, language means the communication, that is learning of language for communicating with one another. So we will be discussing about that in this language development. Then it comes to emotional development. Emotional development is, we will talk about the evolution of various emotions in that particular stage and the emotional behavior which is developed at that particular stage. Then social development is learning to behave as per the norms and rules of the society, because we know that human being is a social being. So how to make adjustment, whether that particular stage is able to make the adjustment with this society or not, we will study about that. Then comes the intellectual development. Intellectual development is the development of intellectual powers like reasoning, thinking, imagination, creativity, concentration, memory. We will talk about it. So these are the various development which we will talk about for various stages. So let's start with the first stage, which is called as the infancy, that is from birth till the age of 2 years. Now, when we talk about the infant child and with respect to the physical development, here at this stage you will see that an infant grows rapidly. The physical growth is very rapid at this stage. When the child is born, the newborn, the average weight is 3 kgs. It can be little bit lower on the lower side also, and it could be higher from this also, 3 kgs also. But the average newborn weight is 3 kgs and the length is 17 centimeter. And by the time the child reaches 2 years, that is at the end of the infancy stage, the average weight goes up to 11 to 12 kgs and the height to 85 centimeter. So you can see the rapid growth, physical growth in the child at this particular stage. Then rapid growth in muscles and bones also, because this is the stage when the child learns to crawl, when the child learns to walk, and when the child learns to talk with other members. So with respect to physical development, At this particular stage, the child is able to learn to drink and take solid food, drink water in the form of, you can say that an infant child can hold the glass with his hands and can drink by himself or herself. And same, he's able to take the food and put it in his or her mouth by on his own. So these are the few little things which a 2-year child can do. So the first tooth at this particular stage normally appears at the age of 6 months. Brain grows very rapidly. The child learns new words, new vocabulary is developed for the child. He is able to perform the basic functions, like he's able to see, he's able to hear, he's able to taste whether the food is sour or sweet or salty. He's able to smell, he's able to feel the pleasure also, he's happy also, he's able to express that happiness also, and he is able to express and feel that pain also. So digestive organ of the child is very tender at this stage, so one has to be very particular that what you are giving to the child. And at the end of the stage, he acquires physiologically stability. That means physiological stability means that he is physically stable. He can walk, he can pick up things, he can put it in his or her mouth. So physically he is stable now. He can walk and run also. So this is the physical development of the infant. Then next is the intellectual development. At this stage, as such, when we talk about intelligence, it is here the child is basically interested in the things which are connected with the hunger and the sleep. When he's hungry, he's crying. When he's not able to sleep due to any reason, he's crying. So at this particular stage, he's more interested in things which are connected with the hunger and the sleep. Then same way, he becomes interested in bright and moving toys. If you see that for 2 years of from infant, we usually buy toys which are of bright colors. The infant is attracted towards bright colors. The moving light toys, in which light is immersing, those toys that child is, the infant is very much interested in it. Then he's very, he's curious. At this stage, he's very curious about things. He's looking around him, and he's very curious. What is this? Why is this? Who is this? So these are the basic questions which the child asks. Then there is an imaginary world, and his imaginary world is his real world at this particular stage. Then he's capable of reasoning and generalization also. Like if you will give him, an apple, a round shaped apple, and you will say that this is an apple. So he is able to generalize that another thing which is round, it could be ball also, that this is also apple. So he has the capability to reason out. He has the capability to journalize the things. Then he explore physical environment which is surrounding him. Same way, he asks questions. He's very curious. Intimate the behavior and actions of other. He try to copy your what you say. He try to copy the way the way you do the usual work, the way you walk, the way you talk. The child tries to imitate that at this particular stage of time. Then next comes the language development. At this particular stage, the infant usually, when the child is born, usually whatever he has to express his pain or hunger or anything, he cries. So initially, infant cries for everything. Then by the first year, he starts uttering the words like ba, ma, like this. And then by the age of 1.5 years, 18 months, he is able to, the language development takes place, and it is on the faster note, and by the 2 years the child is able to speak proper sentences. Now this is something which is common for every child, but there may be some cases in which the child is not able to speak till 2 years. So it is not unusual thing, and it is not something which which a parent needs to be worried about. Some children take time to speak. They start speaking at 2.5 years or 3 years also. So this is the graph, the statistics which I have given regarding uttering of words and language development and proper sentences. This is for every average child. So next is emotional development. Emotional development, child is highly emotional at this stage. He or she cannot control his or her emotions. When he is hungry, he or she is hungry, the baby is hungry, he will not think that the parents are in a in a social gathering or something. If the child is hungry, he or she will cry. So they cannot control their emotions, they just express it without thinking of the surrounding. Then continuous variation in emotions is there, acquires almost all positive and negative emotions in behavior expressions, positive as well as negative emotions. When the child is happy, he will laugh. He will laugh like anything. And if a child is, he's having some pain or he is hungry, he will cry. So he acquires almost all negative and positive emotions at this particular stage, and then relate emotionally to his father and her mother. At this particular stage, the child is very near to the person who is taking care of him or her. It could be the mother, it could be father, or it could be any grandparent, it could be the caretaker also. So whosoever is taking care of the child is emotionally very much attached to that person. Besides the mother and the father, they obviously the child is emotionally attached to mother and father also, and to the caretaker or the grandparents who are taking care of him or her at this particular stage. Then next comes the social development. Obviously, infant is not social at this stage. He's self-centered. You can say he or she is selfish. It is a very, you can say it is a very harsh word to use, that the child is very selfish. But the truth is, the child, as I explained earlier also, if the child is hungry, he is in pain, he will cry. He will not see that he's surrounded by so many people, or at this present moment we cannot give him food or water or whatever. So he's not social at this particular stage. He's very much selfish. So totally dependent on parents for physiological and psychological needs also. Need of the body also, and need psychological needs also, the emotions also. He's totally dependent on parents. Then recognize and identify things and persons. At this particular stage, by the age of 2 years, he is able to identify and recognize the persons and things which are surrounding him. The relatives, the things which are surrounding him is his or her toys, or the plate in which the child eats. He's able to recognize that. He's able to recognize his toys, everything. So by the age of 2 years, he's able to recognize and identify things. Then forming simple concept of social and physical reality. He is able to form the simple concept of social and physical reality, in the sense he knows that this person is my father, this person is my mother. The society reality, by the age of 2 years, he is able to know it, that this relation is called as this. So the simple concept related to social reality and physical reality is able to know about it. So let's talk about the educational implication of infancy stage. The first implication says that special attention for overall development of the child should be given. Like as we have already seen that with respect to development, whether it is physical development, social development, language development, or emotional development, each type of development is taking place at a very faster rate at this particular stage. So special attention should be given to the child. Mother tongue should be used as a medium of instruction. Social qualities should be developed in the child by the age of 2 years. I will not say that a child of 6 months or 8 months or 10 months will act socially in a social gathering, but by the age of the 2, a child should have these social qualities. Then peaceful environment, yes, peaceful environment, peaceful, happy and healthy environment should be given to the child for overall development of his personality. Then next is music plays a very essential part at this particular stage. So if you want a child to learn something, take the help of music, rhymes, and whatever you want to teach the child. Music is a very good way for teaching him or her. Then playway method. Yes, at this particular stage, playway method is the optimum and the best way to teach the child anything you want to teach him, like social qualities also. You can teach him by the way of playway method. Then these were the educational implication of the infant stage. So in our next lecture, we will be talking about the next stage, that is the childhood. Hope you all understood all the aspects of the infant stage. Thank you very much.